Hey guys, it's your boy Peter Lou, Wheel Deal, and today we're going to be looking at a hotly debated topic, the difference between Volk Racing's OG Bronze Almite versus the new Volk Racing Blast Bronze. So we're going to take a first-hand look at both of these colors right now. So when you think of Volk, you think of bronze, and bronze finish, very, very iconic. You've seen it on all the lineups. So C28 lineup, lots of bronze out there, T37 lineup, and now with the ZE40, previously, RE30, SC37, Volk is synonymous with bronze. So what better way to show differences than having them both here with me right here? This is the original C28N OG in Bronze Almite, and over there, the new revitalized C28N, the C28N Plus, which is a whole new redesign of the C28 in Volk's newer Blast Bronze. So of course, with them tight, you're not gonna be able to see the difference right away, but here I'll give you guys a zoom in. But let's talk a little bit about the colors first. So Bronze Almite is actually an anodized process. So if you look up the word Almite, it actually means a sulfurous anodizing name. It's a sulfur process. So Bronze Almite is done using that chemical dip. And with it, what happens is you'll see on the edge here that there's these little dots. This is where they hold the wheel during the anodization process. So that's why you're gonna see that defect there. On the other side, the Blast Bronze, that's actually a paint finish, and that looks a little bit different, and it's a little bit more of a dimpled effect. It doesn't have quite the same amount of sheen. So with the Bronze Almite, it has a really, really nice aesthetic appeal. You notice that the sheen looks a little bit brighter across it. It kind of has a more metallic, and there's a little bit of differences, is that there's different finish across the face of the wheel. You can see on the lip here and the rim edge here, it's all gonna be having this machine finish. It's really, really nice, really, really shiny. And also in the middle where the center cap is doing that as well. This line here, it branches and now it goes into this whole dimpled effect. So dimpled effect on the spokes really gives it a little bit of that durability. Also being an anodized finish, it's Volk's proprietary finish that they do because it's actually a lighter finish, they say. So with it, anodized is normally when I weigh the wheels off, the anodized finish is a little bit lighter. Also the anodized process allows it to be a little bit more corrosion resistant. It stops it from any environmental factors that start kind of eating away at the aluminum. That's why a lot of OG Volk wheels are still on the market. And a lot of them, if you look at them 20 years, yeah, they look kind of faded. There's a little bit of damage, a buildup of contaminants. But overall, the wheel doesn't have a lot of contamination that kind of eating away at the metal. If you kind of look at an older, like chromed out wheel or an older steel wheel or something, or some of the older aluminums that have kind of like a lighter finish, it sort of flake off and peel. Those like 20, 30-year-old anodized wheels, they still look bronze and they still have their paint finish pretty much attached to the wheel because the process adheres the finish to the wheel and kind of bonds together as one finish. There's no separation between the color membrane and the metal membrane. Another thing with the anodizing process is it makes the finish a lot harder. So it's a lot more resistant, they say, to kind of like hairline scratching or light scratching. So when you're washing them and you're gonna notice that it doesn't introduce a lot of scratching or scuffing in it. When you're kind of like dragging maybe something that's like not the cleanest towel or something, it's a lot more resistant to that because of the hardness increase being anodized. So I would say the main disadvantages of the anodizing that people should be aware of is first, it's normally more expensive. So all the wheels we have at the shop here, the anodized one normally costs a bit more than all the painted variants. The second thing is the bronze anodizing takes immense care. So I've seen at the shop a lot of times people have ruined their anodized wheels by using too harsh wheel cleaners, using acidic based wheel cleaners, having something or chemical baking on it on the sun. I would say that with the anodized wheels, you gotta be really proactive about taking care of them, cleaning them very often, not using harsh wheel cleaners. And when you do wash them, using water, using mild soaps, and really taking care of making sure the wheel's dried and not having any kind of chemicals laying on it for a long time. With the anodized wheels, we have a pretty big sample size of people using them. And people are restoring the finish with a lot of different ideas, using peanut butter, using different oils, using different kind of sealings. So my best bet, if you get a new set of anodized wheels, get them ceramic coated right away. Keep them really, really clean. Don't introduce any harsh chemicals. So now switch to the other side here. You're gonna see this is the Blast Bronze wheel. And the first thing you notice with the Blast Bronze is it looks a little bit less bronze. It's not as highlighted. It looks a little bit of a more kind of gunmetal-y finish. So that's really good. Second thing you notice with the Blast Bronze is painted uniform. So the lip, the rim edge, and all the spokes, it's a unified finish. It's got the same dimple effect across the whole thing. With the painted finish, I think this probably adds a lot more durability. If you kind of look at motorsport wheels, like some of you in raised wheels at 24-hour Le Mans, a lot of racing wheels, they stick to this all matte finish. I think that adds a little bit of durability. It also has a little bit more resistant against brake dust, any kind of track contaminants. It can easily be taken off right away. Also with a matte finish, it's probably lighter than a gloss finish, so it still is a very light finish versus some other options that people have that are fancier. This bronze, I would say, is derived from kind of like that motorsport heritage back on a race. So it's really matte, looks really good. It still has a really, really unique sheen to it. And I would say if you're trying to go stealth, this one looks a little bit more understated. It's It looks a lot uniform, and it gives your car really like a really motorsport focused look and feel. The other thing is it's a little bit cheaper. So it's cheaper than a bronze anodized, which can affect your decision. And another thing is only certain wheels and batches are available in the bronze Almite with the blast bronze. This is available pretty regularly for any of Volk's finishing options. Also, with it being track orientated, I would say because that's a uniform finish, if something was to happen where wheel was damaged and you want to refinish it or you want to touch it up, this would be a lot easier because more uniform. That kind of polished lip from the bronze Almite, really difficult to finish, almost unredoable. So with this guy, it can probably go through some recoloring options and things. So for longevity and track use, I would say this guy probably is the one I would go with just for longer term durability. And last thing we're gonna do, because you guys only saw the wheels and it finishes one at a time, we're gonna do a B-roll where I don't say anything, just both wheels side by side. All right, let's go. All right, so that concludes our in-depth look between Volk's OG bronze Almite versus Volk's new blast bronze painted finish. And hopefully I gave you guys all the details you guys needed to know to come to a decision. I hope all the B-rolls helped you guys see the two wheels kind of in real life versus like pictures. You know, we got the videos so you can kind of see how the sheen is changed differently between the wheels. But overall, both really good options depending on your applications. So to sum it up, I would say this, more of a deep bronze, has a nice kind of finish on the lip, but of course higher maintenance, but definitely a lot more like a show style. Blast bronze, motorsport derived, time attack, circuit, durability, and also future refinishing. This guy's definitely the winner. So both really good options. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. So if you guys were to ask my opinion, I would say both of them have an area to belong with to kind of give you the vision of what you're trying to do with your vehicle. So make sure you guys subscribe, comment below, and let me know if there's any other wheel questions you guys want answered, all right? Thanks.